Welcome to the TMC Mega Raffle podcast. I'm Larry Mack, and we're talking with Kathy Rice, Executive Director of the TMC Mega Raffle, supporting Tucson Medical Center. Welcome, Kathy. How you doing?
I am great. Thank you for giving me a chance to chat with everyone today.
Well, we should have a lot of fun. We'll be talking for the next half hour here. And one of the things I do want to talk to you about and ask you about is, say I just moved to Tucson, Arizona.
Right.
I've been here about 15 years, so I've seen the commercials. I actually, and we'll go into this a little bit later, have a coworker who actually won a prize from the TMC Mega Raffle.
Okay. Good.
So, but let's start off with, it's back. And for those that may not know much about it, what's
Sure.
the history of it and what does it do for the community, for the hospital? And, just give me kind of a synopsis of what's going on here, and then we'll get into the fun stuff too about how much they can win.
Absolutely. Well, like I said at the beginning, it's so good to be back. This is actually our ninth year of doing the mega raffle in support of Tucson Medical Center. And I think what makes the project so unique for those that are really not familiar with the raffle is this is definitely not traditional philanthropy. Individuals are going to have an opportunity of winning over 2,700 prizes, Larry, by going to tmcmegaraffle.org. Odds of winning are 1 in 20. How you're able to be eligible to enter the raffle is you just need to be 21 years of age. You need to be present in the state of Arizona when you buy your ticket. And then you're going to go to the website, like I said, tmcmegaraffle.org, and check out all those incredible prizes. But the cool part is even if you don't win, you know that the net dollars from the raffle are going back to support patient care programs at Tucson Medical Center.
Now, this year obviously has had some definite challenges with the
Yes.
pandemic.
Yes.
Um, I know hospitals. I had a recent trip to the emergency room lately, and just getting in was definitely an experience because they're trying to keep everybody safe.
Right.
Um, Obviously, with the hospital, how did this whole thing come together all these years ago? How did the TMC Mega Raffle come together? And what are the challenges you see for hospitals now that we're inside this pandemic?
Well, interesting. Basically, the project really came about based on a concept that had been happening in Canada for
Hmm.
many, many, many years. It was brought to Arizona back in 2003, which is when I first became involved in the project. And then, like I mentioned, 9 years ago, we ended up introducing the project to Tucson Medical Center. Nowhere in my wildest dreams would we have ever been able to conceive of times like we're dealing with right now. And I think that's what has made the raffle, frankly, the tickets are selling so fast this year. And I really credit all of that to people understanding this is a really good opportunity to win something, to get caught up in the fun of the mega raffle, but to really be able to say thank you to all of those heroes that are working in Tucson Medical Center to keep us safe every single day.
How many prizes? You mentioned there's a 1 in 20 chance. How do
Yes.
you figure, that out with, I mean, every year it seems like as I've been following this, you're giving away more and more prizes.
Well, I
Uh,
like to keep amazing people, Larry. That is kind of my job. But yes, there's in this particular year, it's 2,700 prizes, and then based on a fixed number of tickets that we're going to sell, and then the accounting firm who actually is supports the hospital and the project are the ones that do the actual calculation to make sure that it is in fact a 1 in 20 chance at winning a single prize. I also want to point out, kind of right at this point as well, there's no prize that's less than the cost of a single ticket. Single tickets are $100. And then we always have the deal, 3 tickets for 250. But I do think it's important to know that really this particular raffle is unique in that there's no prize less than the cost of a single ticket.
oh, that's fantastic. And then
Yeah.
the interesting thing, so there is a limited number of tickets that are
Yes.
always available. So you keep it
Yes.
limited. So in other
And
words, get those
actually,
tickets now.
well, the interesting thing, again, what I was saying at the beginning, for whatever reason this year, we are selling faster than ever. that first deadline coming up is midnight, March the 4th. But the way we are trending right now, we are going to be sold out way before that. So for
Really?
anyone who's listening today, I really think I encourage everyone, buy your ticket, be part of this incredible project, be able to be part of the miracles that are happening at Tucson Medical Center, but don't wait until the cutoff day because I think the tickets will in fact be gone.
Now you have different levels of the tickets and different deadlines as well, the early bird, blah, blah. How do you guys do
Correct.
that?
Well, yes, typically in any other given year, we would have the early bird deadline
Yep.
and then the final deadline.
Mhm.
But so that March 4th deadline that you would see when you go onto the TMC Mega Raffle website,
Mhm.
don't get caught up on the deadline because I think we are trending so much further ahead of that. The tickets will not last until that March 4th deadline.
Is this, I know that in the past I've watched it and some of them sold a few days out in advance. Is
Right.
this, definitely different this year? I mean, have you had
It
other
is.
years where they've sold out ahead of time, or you think this is because a lot of the pandemic and people are at home and more excited about
Yeah,
helping?
yeah, there's a part of me that actually thinks, and I've heard this, from other individuals that I've spoken with over the last couple weeks. It's something fun to think about. It's fun to dream about what you possibly could win. It's being so acutely aware of what's happening at the hospital and with the whole healthcare crisis. It just feels like people, they're excited to be part of it. So there's an energy that is almost palpable. Every single day, Larry, we're exceeding what we did last year by, in some cases, doubling and tripling the amount of sales on any given day. So I think it's fun.
Oh, it's absolutely fun, and I noticed too that you're doing the 50/50 jackpot again?
That one is really exciting. If you haven't gone to the website, the tmcmegaraffle.org, I'm going to keep sharing that with
Oh,
people so
please
they
do.
have a chance to check it out. But that 50/50 jackpot is already over $720,000. And to put that in perspective, Larry, last year, the 50/50 jackpot, we were just shy of 900,000. And in just a week and a half into the project, we're already over 720,000.
So
Will we hit a million? I don't know.
well, you might. Yeah,
Yeah,
how does
yeah,
the 50/50 jackpot work for those who
good
may not
question.
understand what that means?
Basically, once you have bought a ticket, by going to tmcmegaraffle.org. You're going
Mhm.
to buy your ticket, either the single ticket or the three tickets for $250. Then you can purchase a chance in the 50/50 drawing. And basically, at the end of the raffle, that will be the very last thing we draw. One lucky winner is going to take half that cash, and the other half goes directly to Tucson Medical Center. So it's been, I think this is our fourth year for the 50/50 jackpot. And like I said, how high will it go? It's certainly fun to watch.
So I would presume, I could be wrong here, but there is no deadline on joining that one other than the normal deadline for the end of the whole contest.
The only deadline I would say that people sometimes get confused on, it's not like you can just go in and get a 50/50, after the fact.
Mhm.
You must purchase the 50/50 ticket in conjunction with purchasing either the single raffle ticket or the 3 for 250.
Okay. And then, explain a little bit about, what this does. The 50/50, so 50% goes to the winner.
Yes.
Could there be more than one winner, or is it just one
No,
person?
it is one split the pot.
So if you get to 1,000,000, wow, okay. That could change lives right there. And obviously, it would change lives. It would definitely help the hospital as well.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah. To date, we have been able to give back to Tucson Medical Center. So for everyone who's bought a single ticket, you can now know that together we have been able to give back just shy of $9 million to Tucson Medical Center. Those net dollars are supporting patient care programs, keeping the technology on the cutting edge so that the hospital and all those individual heroes that are working there, it allows them to, be part of the best when it comes to medicine in this day and age. So it is a big, powerful part of the mega raffle. Yep, it's fun to think about what you could win, but you just don't know. None of us do. And certainly this year is amazingly clear of not knowing when you or someone you love is going to be needing the type of care that's happening every day at Tucson Medical Center.
Now, you just mentioned that big, what was it, 9 million you said?
Yeah.
Was that just for the 50/50, or is that for
No, no,
the
no.
entire
To
thing?
date, for in the 9 years, so
Okay.
the first year we didn't quite hit, where we wanted to, but we've been basically averaging about 1 million a year that has gone directly back to Tucson Medical Center. This year, it looks like, frankly, the last several years, we've done considerably more than 1 million, but that's how it can be averaged out since we've been doing the raffle for the past 9 years, which is very powerful. Another aspect of those net dollars is they are unrestricted dollars, meaning the hospital gets to decide, it's not allocated to just one department. And we can absolutely attest to the fact that literally every area of the hospital, every department in the hospital has been impacted in some way with the raffle dollars. The hospital has determined they want to keep those dollars specifically for patient care programs and the latest and greatest in equipment and technology.
Now, you said this has been going on about 9 years. You've
Yes,
$9 million. Do you have
yes.
a goal set every year? Is it $1 million, or do you
I
raise
always have a goal.
do you have a goal this year? You wanna break 1 million, or do you?
Well, I don't like to put, I won't put what's the saying, cart in front of the horse. So
Okay.
all I would say is that we are trending ahead. And I do think that once the raffle is finished and we're able to let the hospital get all of the expenses and everything, then we do release that number. But I would say it is safe to say that it is considerably more than $1 million this year.
And that all and it all stays here for
It
Tucson Medical
all
Center.
stays here. That's
Okay.
exactly right.
And
Another
then oh,
interesting thing that people may not be aware of when it comes to Tucson Medical Center, it's the only hospital that is self-governed. It is not being managed by other entities outside of Southern Arizona, which is a really cool thing about TMC. It is people locally taking care of people locally.
how long has the
Very cool
hospital been there?
aspect. Pardon me?
How long has the hospital been around?
Gosh, I think it's like 75 plus years.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then this has really helped infuse a lot of life into it in the last 9 years, I would presume.
You know what? When I talk with some of the upper management at Tucson Medical Center, the awareness level, obviously, the net dollars are a tremendous, it's the big, big deal for the hospital, but also we're top of mind. I mean,
Mm.
when the raffle goes live, we are talking about it on radio, on television, in these news interviews. There's really, it's kind of hard to not know that the mega raffle is going on. I sometimes say we're the biggest voice in town when the raffle launches, and that becomes a really great, great thing for the hospital.
Does this help also, like, later on in the year with the hospital as far as you guys may be looking for grants or other, things to help infuse money into the hospital? Does the awareness level help that?
I think all of it does. I do know that there's people, again, because it's not traditional philanthropy, you'll hear from people that basically will come out and say they feel so good about the fact that buying a single ticket for $100 allows them to feel connected to the hospital. The fact that we are purchasing all of the prizes locally, all of that becomes a big deal for this particular project. We have tremendous support from the dealers and the home builder and all of the different individuals that really look for the type of things to support the hospital in this way.
How do you reach out to those people? I mean, you got a lot of smaller prizes as well. I mean, will
Right,
they
right.
contact you, or do you have to look for them? I'm thinking after 9 years, they're probably contacting you to become part of it.
Well, actually, I send out an email and I usually start with the selection of the prizes in August. It doesn't happen overnight because of the fact, 2,700 prizes. But now it's gotten to the point where I send out an email and say, send me what is the hottest new car, or send me the top travel destinations. And then we just start putting together the type of brochure that allows it to be a real page turner.
All right. So you're definitely working on this almost year round then.
Pretty much, pretty much. We take a little bit of good time off for some maybe deserved rest, but for the most part, I'm always trying to think, what can we do differently? What can we do? We have a responsibility to everyone who is supporting the hospital in such a big way of keeping it fresh and keeping it exciting. And frankly, that's how the birth of the 50/50 came to be. What can we do differently? So it's exciting, it's fun. I always get very, very excited to be able to be back on the air, with folks like yourself at the beginning of the raffle. It's hard to believe that, it's been a year, but it's all good.
Yeah, when I was talking to some of the people about this a couple days back, I was thinking, it's here already. It was just, wow, it's been a year. So,
Yeah, hard to believe.
but
Hard to believe.
now you talked about it earlier in the interview, but where can people purchase tickets? And is there any limit to how many they can buy, or
Okay.
I- how does that work out? I know that there's deadlines,
Right. The
but is there a
deadlines I
limit?
think we talked about
Hmm.
enter now because tickets are selling fast.
Hmm.
It's easy. You're going to go to tmcmegaraffle.org, or I got to stick my glasses on, Larry, for this one, or people can call 1-800-395-8805. Operators are standing by 24/7. As far as a limit on the number of tickets, no, there's no limit on the number of tickets. Again, just remember, if you want to get involved in the 50/50 jackpot, you have to do that in conjunction with the purchase of the ticket.
So you got
One
to do
ticket,
both.
yeah, one chance on the 50/50, I believe, is $10. Five chances on the 50/50 is $25. And then you can get 15 chances, which is kind of turned into the most popular bundle. 15 chances in the 50/50 for $50. So it's an incredibly fun way. By now, we've started to hear, people have either won something or they know someone that won something. So it's kind of um, somewhat internally just spreading throughout Southern Arizona. Gosh, I bet we've given away let's see here, 20 something hundred, no, wrong. I got
Sure,
that.
sure.
Hold on a
Give me the
second.
other one.
I actually have this answer. Today, given away something crazy. I don't have it.
20,000.
20,000 prizes have been awarded
Oh,
to date.
wow.
Yeah,
20,000.
20,000 prizes to date, which is pretty amazing. I mean, homes, cars, trips, it's all there.
Well, let's talk about some of the prizes you're giving away this year. You've talked about a couple of big ones, but let's kind of reiterate the big ones again and go over some of the smaller ones. And I like the fact that no prize is less worth than the ticket. That's a really, really cool thing. 'Cause
Exactly. Well, starting at the top, that grand prize home, again, and a beautiful AF Sterling home, or they're going to take the cash option of $625,000. And then grand prize number 2 is the new Audi e-tron, that electric vehicle, or take 150,000. The 2 early bird prizes, Larry, are crazy fun. The Cadillac XT6 plus $20,000 in cash, valued over 76,000. That's early bird 1. Early bird 2 is the Land Rover Defender, again with $20,000 in cash, valued over 74,000. And then we get into the cars, and we've got the all new, it's the Volkswagen Atlas, the Lincoln Nautilus, the Acura TLX. There's 12 cars in all. And what some folks may not be aware of until they go to tmcmegaraffle.org. Let's see, it's been a few minutes since I've said that, right? Once you do that, you're going to realize that every single one of our vehicles also comes with a cash prize, which really does make it a truly just flat out win for the individual, because they won't have to come up with the taxes on that particular prize. Then we've got the trips, and I think especially in light of everything that's going on, all of these trips are basically, or the vast majority of them are all with it in this incredible country of ours. And you've got someone's going to head off to Laguna Niguel. We could go to Sonoma, Boston, Jackson Hole, just some incredible vacations. And one of the things that really makes the vacations so great, especially right now, is the folks that we work with at the travel group are giving the winners of these trips some additional breathing room. So let's get on the other side of all of this so that if you do get lucky enough to win one of these dream vacations, you can actually take it and enjoy it.
You can kind of wait till things get
Exactly.
back to
Exactly.
normal. Okay.
And then with the smaller prizes, we've got jewelry, we've got the latest in electronics, some of the big TVs. It really is something to see. And I encourage everyone to go to the website and just go category by category. And then while you're there, you may even have an opportunity to click on to the hospital section of it, where you can see some of the stories and see where these dollars are going that are truly, truly making a difference.
So, speaking of that, can you talk a little bit about how this has made a difference to some people's lives? Tell us maybe a couple of those stories about how it's affected people.
Oh gosh, there's so many. It's I'm trying to think of some good ones. I know that there was a woman actually, and this is very, very recent. I was doing an interview and just heard this young mom, and she had been entering the raffle, buying a ticket for years, and all of a sudden, I guess she had a baby, and basically the folks at TMC saved this little girl's life, and she managed to now be surpassed her first birthday, and things are going extremely well for her. And that's just one story. I've seen. We had early on a gal that had a neurological situation. I can't remember the exact details, but she had such a love for TMC, and they allowed her dog to be at her on the foot of her bed, actually, throughout some of her recovery. And lo and behold, she's in the hospital and is looking at the brochure, hears about it. This was in the very first year, and said, "What the heck? I'm going to buy a ticket because they've been so amazing to me." And she was one of the early bird winners.
Oh, wow.
And all of a sudden, the doctor who had basically allowed her to be able to walk again was the one, he was there when she won her prize. So it was just this crazy moment where you had all the emotions caught up in this young gal, her life was saved, and here's her doctor being part of her accepting her prize. So it's just amazing. I Years ago I had a woman who won a travel prize. When I called and she started to cry, and I said, "Oh, I know it's very exciting." And I think the prize was to Tahiti, if I remember correctly. And she ended up saying, I was saying, "I know it's exciting." She said, "You don't understand." She said, "I was born in Tahiti. I'm an ovarian cancer survivor. I haven't been home in 20 years, and you're letting me go back and see my parents."
Oh,
So again, it's the stories that make this project so special. I encourage everybody to take a chance. It might be your year to win big. There will be 2,700 winners. And who knows? Like I said, this could be the one where you get to be the person who gets the phone call.
2,700 winners. That is
Exactly.
amazing. And then
Exactly.
what you said that was a 1 in 20 chance?
1 in 20. Interestingly enough, Larry, that phrase, "Are the odds really 1 in 20?" has been one of the most repeated phrases that we hear throughout the state when it talks about this raffle. The odds are real. They're verified. I can attest to it, and it's kind of crazy when you think about somebody taking a chance on the lotteries and things like that. It's 1 in a bazillion. Well, we've
Mhm.
got 1 in 20 chance of winning a prize, and again, it's going to be happening in a few short weeks.
Well, what's amazing about it too is when you think about you mentioned lottery and all these other things that go
Right.
on, you're literally competing with the rest of the country with those. So
Yes,
somebody, whenever I read those things, somebody's always winning in Maryland or
exactly.
somewhere else. It's going to be 2,700 prizes are going to be awarded here
Yeah,
in Tucson and the surrounding
yeah.
areas.
That's exactly. There was a young gal that I think she was a beautician in a salon group or whatever, and I called her and she was at work. None of the other stylists had bought a ticket, but she kept telling them, "I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win." And so she was at work when I called her. She, in fact, won. She was screaming. She then told me the next year that all of those other gals that worked in the beauty salon were the first ones to buy tickets.
Oh,
They weren't going to wait.
well, I have a coworker here, and he played the game last year and won
Okay.
something. So,
Yeah.
and he was like, "I told you, you can
Yeah.
win." And
That's
so,
exactly.
somebody here in Tucson, somebody you may know may win, and it might as well be you
Well, you
if
know
you're winning.
what? Interestingly, for the folks on ESPN, I interviewed with a guy for years, and one of this young man was listening to your shows and ended up saying, "What the heck?" And he ended up, while he was listening to the interview, he bought a ticket. He won a Mercedes.
He won a Mercedes.
Yep. Yep.
So, yep, 1 in 20. Those are great odds. And
That's
again,
exactly right.
you need, let's go. So let's do a recap here real quick,
Okay.
Kathy. We've
Sure.
been talking with Kathy Rice. She is the executive director of the TMC Mega Raffle supporting Tucson Medical Center. And basically, get these tickets fast
Fast.
because you're going to be sold out before the deadline, it looks like. Where
Exactly.
can people purchase the tickets? And let's go over the rules again on
Sure.
how all they have to be, et cetera.
All right, the specs come back on. We're going to go to tmcmegaraffle.org. You've got yours too,
Okay,
right?
there we go.
The sign of the times, dear.
Yes.
tmcmegaraffle.org or call 1-800-395-8805. You have to be 21 years of age in order to enter. You have to be present in the state of Arizona in order to enter. And it's that easy. And then buy that ticket. Single tickets are $100, 3 tickets for 250 if you're like me and you like the deal. And then I highly recommend get a chance for the 50-50 jackpot because somebody's going to win. And you can't, what's the other line? We'll borrow that line from the lottery. You can't win if you don't play, right? So
Yes, absolutely. So just to clarify one thing, you cannot partake in the 50-50 jackpot unless you buy a ticket.
that is 100% correct.
All
Yes.
right. And then
Yes.
let's hit that website one more time.
Absolutely. tmcmegaraffle.org.
Well, Kathy, I appreciate you taking the time with me today to talk about the TMC Mega Raffle. I'm looking forward. I'm actually to go out and buy my ticket right now as soon as we're done with this.
Well, I was hoping I would get you ready to do that. So
Yes.
I'm glad. And I actually, right now, I'll take a second on behalf of everyone at Tucson Medical Center. Thank you for supporting this project over the years. Good luck to everyone who either has already bought a ticket or is getting ready, like yourself, Larry, to get their ticket right now. And maybe the next time you all hear my voice, I'll be calling to say you're a winner.
Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Website one more time.
tmcmegaraffle.org.
Check it out. Buy that ticket.